Guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I want to talk about, or what you will learn today is how to make a career change after 40. I don't want to say it's a necessary how-to, but really some steps that you can really consider, some things that you may want to think about if you want to make a career change after 40. You're facing that, you're in that struggle right now. And the reason that I'm bringing this up or making this video is because I know there's a lot of people that I have met personally who have spent most of their life, either they was married, had a family, had children and people to provide for, or they're just out of fear, or someone, you know, they didn't have anyone to believe in them that they could do something different, never lived the dream, the life that they wanted to live. And, you know, and I know things like that can happen. You get in this thing called life. And before you know it, 10 years has passed, 20 years have passed, 30 years have passed, and you realize, my God, what has happened? And I'm still not happy. And then you want to make this shift, but then you're afraid. And these are just some of the things that I think, for me personally, that I've used that really helps me. I've never been one of the ones that I always felt like I had to do the same thing for the rest of my life. Now that's very unnerving to people. Entrepreneurship is very unnerving to people because really it doesn't have, I want to say before I get started is, unfortunately, all too often we look for other people's approval. We look for validation from others, but you cannot expect someone to understand where you're going when they've never been there. You know, when you say, if you've ever traveled out of the side of the country and somebody has done nothing but went from one county to the next, they never even went out of their own state, they'll never understand that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but they have a limited perspective. And so maybe you're a person like I am. I am a big visionary. I have so many things going on in my head at one time. It's very difficult for people to understand that unless you are one of those people, right? And so I've learned a long time ago, really trying to make people understand and getting people to high five me, you know, and all this other kind of stuff. It became so unimportant. But living my life to the fullest and giving my best each and every day is important. And if you watch my previous video, I'm going to link it over here. I talked about really focusing on healthy relationships. I think that was the video titled The 7 Health Hacks. Healthy relationships are powerful, and if you don't have healthy relationships, sooner or later your dreams will die. Those people will stifle your dreams out of you and they will die. So don't do that to yourself. So let's get into it. So one of the first things that I would encourage you to do if you want to, or you're making a career change, you're considering making a career change, or you're in the shift already, is to live as lean as possible. It is a value to be debt-free. It is a value to be debt-free because you can move, you can go, you can do whenever you want to without the burdens of debt. Debt is a burden. The Bible says to owe no man, right? To owe no man. And so we need to be the lender and not the borrower. We need to get that mindset. You know, all these things, you know, I love nice things. I love to have nice things, but I think if you really look at it, most of us are living with some bit of fluff. And I'm not saying live and not have fun and do all these different things, but entrepreneurship takes risk. You know, it takes risk sometimes. And depending on what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go, you don't want that burden, because that means you can't leave that other job until you pay off all your debt. You know, take care of your responsibilities. Don't walk away from your responsibilities, but wherever you can, live lean, okay? And just take a month and just look at where you're spending most of your money and see where you can take out the fluff. And it's not to say that you can't enjoy yourself from time to time, but just take out the fluff from here and there, okay? Just something I'm throwing out there. Not just something One thing that I probably should have said first that I'm going to say now is your faith. Your faith is your mouth speaking. So what comes out of your mouth tells automatically what type of faith you have. trust in God with all that you have and all that you are. If God has given you this burning desire, this dream that I want to be a restaurant owner, I want to be a baker, I want to be an entrepreneur, all these things. He's giving you this dream. I want to be an actor or actress. He's giving you that. And trust it, trust it, trust it. But now with faith, faith without works is dead. You got to put some action behind it. God will meet you in the middle, right? So if you do your work, He's going to do His work. But stand on your faith. Don't waver. Don't let anybody, and if anybody tries to get in the way of your faith and what you believe, those are, again, those things about health or relationships you may need to consider. These are people that you may not need to have in your life. Everybody's not going to understand, and you got to be okay with that. And another thing, you can't share your big dreams with small-minded people. Know this, y'all. You just got to know it. You just got to know it. You just got to know it. And you got to be okay sometimes standing by yourself. It's okay. You won't stand for long by yourself, but it's okay sometimes when you do it. All right. One other thing I can tell you is to be willing to do things in tandem, do things at the same time. Sometimes you may be working your current job 9 to 5, and you may have your little hustle on the side, which will replace your 9 to 5 and will become your main thing. And you may be working on 2 or 3 different things at a time. I would say work, pay now so you don't have to pay later. I see a lot of people, and I use the word a lot of people because I've seen this. You see people in their 70s and 80s now, they're working because they can't afford, even with Social Security, they can't afford not to work. They can't afford not to quit. And that's so sad, man. You can't walk. These people own walkers, they're in wheelchairs, and they need the money. They may have medical expenses and things like that, and they just need the money. So make sure you work hard now so you don't have to work hard later. Put in your time now. Don't be afraid to do things at the same time. You know, you work a little bit here on this. You got to go to your 9 to 5 because that's taking care of your family. That's where your insurance and your benefits coming from right now. But you're doing this on the side because that one day, you know, I'm going to replace that. I'm not going to have to get up out this bed and listen to this alarm clock and go work for somebody else. I'm going to make my own money. And trust in yourself. It's okay. And if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, that's not a bad thing. Everybody's not called to entrepreneurship, and I hope that's not what you're taking from this video. But even though if it may be a career change when you're working for somebody else in corporate or whatever, still these principles will apply. And one thing that I had to learn myself, and it unfortunately took me a while, is always believe in yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Sometimes, and I'm speaking for myself, you are around people that are so negative and all they have to say is something about what you can't do and what you're not going to be. And sometimes when you listen to that long enough, a part of you begins to believe it. I know I did. And I would tell you, if any fire goes out, it never should be yours. Your fire should always be lit. Your fire should always be shining bright, and your fire should always be the brightest in the room for yourself. Stand up and cheer for yourself and be your biggest cheerleader, okay? Don't expect anybody else to do it. Don't ever give up on yourself. Like tips like these on how to make a career change and just some strategies in your 40s, then make sure you hit the bell notifications to stay tuned for my next video. But if you want to have more health tips and more about professional development, make sure you watch my last 2 videos over here. Stay tuned for future videos, and I look forward to sharing with you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.